So welcome back, guys, for our second team episode.
Thank you again.
It's nice to have you here. And as I mentioned at the beginning, we're starting to see things shift already, and that's going to be a big focus of our podcast topic today and what we're seeing happening in the market. So anybody want to chime in with what they're seeing right now, mostly happening in the real estate realm of Grande Prairie?
I feel like after the first week of January, it was already starting to climb. And I feel like we've had weeks that probably the snow hasn't helped, maybe, where it's a little bit of a lull, and then we're right back to it the next week. It's definitely heating up, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in the next couple of weeks for sure.
I agree.
The false spring we had kind of gave a little pep to some people's step.
We showed houses in t-shirts at some point.
It was so nice. Now it's snowing again.
Second winter, yeah.
I'm starting to see things, I guess, as much as values are seemingly climbing with the lack of inventory is seemingly climbing a touch. And with that, it still brings the mindset that accuracy on pricing is crucial. I'm seeing what's good on the market goes quick, and what's way overvalued for whatever reason is sitting. So that's part of the reason I believe that inventory is starting to climb as well, is that people are not necessarily in tune with accuracy on values, and I think that that's super important for efficiency. But yeah, I mean that's always the case. It's just seemingly a little bit more relevant right now too.
So inventory is picking up, showings are increasing, and we're even starting to see some multiple offer situations, which we can also touch on and why we're seeing those. So is this an indication, guys, do you think that we're going to have a busy spring?
Yeah.
Usually is, hey?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's also been people that have been waiting for months, just waiting for that next home to come on that might fit exactly what they're looking for. So they're ready to go, and that's why we get new buyers come on and like mixed with the old ones that are still waiting. So then they get in there together and compete.
Yeah.
It's a hard process because it's so competitive that people get emotional, and a plan in place is obviously super huge. And trust in your agent, and your agent trusting you, because people get emotional. There's like, I just gotta get in this house, and there will be more houses come up, and it's hard. It's not
Patience
tricky.
is key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's almost like a FOMO feeling right now, like fear of missing out, especially if you're a buyer or a seller and you need to sell, but there's nothing to buy. So it's like when one comes on the market, it's almost like, oh my gosh, do we need to jump on this right now, or do we have some time here? Can we sit and wait? So it's like, are we going to miss this deal? Is this going to be the way it is all spring, where inventory is low? Like, it's uncertain right now, but if you have some time to sit, we do often see inventory levels increasing in the springtime.
I don't think it's anything to be scared of or fearful of, though. I think just a good plan in place, you will get the right house. So it's nothing to be fearful or worry and say, oh my goodness, I don't know if it's time for me to buy something. As long as you're patient and have a good plan, it'll work out.
Yeah.
I've had clients miss out on homes before, and it's sad at the time, but not one of them has come back after finding the next home and purchasing it saying that they're upset with the one that they ended up with.
No.
So it always works out in the end.
I agree. And you may see and be wondering who our new face is that we have here with us. So this is Akhil. Akhil, how do you say your last name?
Oh, it's a bit hard, but...
Well, Akhil is part of our team as well. He didn't get to join us last time, but thank you so much for joining us
You're
this
welcome.
time.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tell them what your last name means. I think it's so fitting for real estate.
Oh, well, it means that house on the top of the hill.
Yeah.
That's the meaning. So,
No way.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, that's how we named after. Our last names are in a way that describes the location of the house.
On
So,
top of the-
yeah, it's interesting though.
Yeah.
Akhil is a new agent. And how long have you been licensed now?
It's been like about 3 to 4 months now.
3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
And how do you find that transition from studying to actually getting out in the industry and getting your feet wet right now? Like, how does it feel?
Yeah, I feel it is a tough process, of course, right? So you have a steady job and you stop doing a job and then you're jumped into the real estate. Now it's gonna take some time for you to learn everything and get clients, but lucky that this team, C.Moore, because I get a lot of support from even everybody. And Chris is a true mentor always. And then I was able to do a sale just, let's say, within 2 months of being a real estate agent.
That is amazing, you know.
Yeah, that's
really
I
fun.
would say that I'm thankful to the team, for being with me with all the process that it was new to me, of course, and there's a lot of things. It's not just about finding clients and just doing the deals. It's a lot of things. A lot of things should align.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just still learning, but yeah.
I mean, even me, I'm an agent of 4 years now, and I still have another job on the side too.
Oh yeah.
I'm a substitute teacher, so we can't all do this full time yet. It takes
Yep.
some time to get
That's
into the industry and just start. It starts coming more and more every single year as you continue doing it. So be patient with yourself. You're doing all the right things.
It's an excellent way to put it too, Akhil, is not pushing people into something just to get them into something will get you a long ways in this business.
Yeah, that's what I've learned from the team, eh?
Yeah.
So I didn't know the things, right? But
having done this for 10 years, a lot of agents and a lot of times newer agents will get excited and their client, may not perfectly see the value. And oftentimes it's, it's the case where agents will suggest things that aren't necessarily exactly what the client wants, as opposed to waiting and taking your time with stuff like that and taking care of the client is going to get you a long ways. I promise you that. It's good business is slow business, but it'll get you a lot further.
It's about building your profile, right?
That's right.
So I want to be true to the heart.
That's right, 100%.
All right. So I guess inventory wise and talking about like what is on the market right now, what are we seeing moving pretty fast compared to things that are sitting?
I'd say the homes between the 360 to probably 470 mark, if they're priced accordingly and in good shape, and the product obviously aligns with the price, they're not lasting very long for sure.
Exactly. I've seen that firsthand myself. I listed a house last week for a client of mine. It was listed at $449. We put it on the market, and within not even 12 hours, we had 3 offers on that house because it was very well maintained and taken care of. It had a few extras like the ICF foundation, it had AC, and it was in a great neighborhood. So all those things come together, and when you're ready to list, and it's if you're in the perfect range, you might see multiple offers. We're not going to say that you will, but it's starting to happen already.
Even the higher price
homes.
points though, like I went on a trip for my son's hockey last week, and one of the dads was asking about a house in Whispering Ridge. He said, "How long do you think this will last?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a hard question. I can't tell you." I said, "Probably won't last long." And that was a week and a half ago, and it sold for $10K over.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So it didn't last long.
Yeah.
As well as acreages close to town. People just wanting to get just outside of the city hubbub.
Yeah. There's not many acreages on the market, especially
No.
something that's affordable. There are many different ones with over $1 million right now. I wouldn't say many, but probably 5 or 6 maybe I know of off the top of my head, but not something that everybody can afford. But yeah, they move pretty fast too.
100%.
Another big thing I'm seeing as well is quality of the lower price inventory is a battle. I have many clients that are approved under 300 and looking for stuff like in that price category, and I always have the conversation with my clients about mobile homes and not having a foundation. When you get into that 250 and below price point with older houses, they can be very tricky. And I'm not to say that they're not good houses out there, but they can be extremely tricky to deal with when you're a first-time buyer and you're using a lot of your funds for down payment and insurance and all the things that you likely never have dealt with as far as renting. So we've done a couple of mobile homes in the last week or so here, and seemingly the prices on those is stable. And they are, in my opinion, still one of the best options for that price point. We are seeing quite a bit of inventory sit that's in the lower price point just because of the condition. And it's not necessarily because they're bad houses. It's just pricing based off of facts of the condition and potentially locations can be a big factor. So again, when looking to sell something like that, you definitely want to have a accurate plan in place based off of accurate data and not just basing it off of fictional information to try and get maximum price. I mean, it is always about getting the maximum price, but being realistic about that and formulating a plan to get it to sell efficiently as well. That's another major thing. We've all kind of touched on different
100%.
price points, but that's a big one I've been seeing over the last year for sure. So
Being as move-in ready as possible
Of course.
is what everybody's looking for.
yeah, a lot of people don't have the extra funds
Yeah.
or time or ability, myself included. You know, I wouldn't be able to buy an older home and do the work myself. It's not that I wouldn't want to have that done, but to come up with the cost of doing that after my down payment and everything else would be a challenge. So
I think the trickiest part is in that 300 under is usually a first-time home buyer. And so the last thing they want to deal with is aluminum windows and wood windows and dealing with old foundations and roof that's going to go where, probably the same price point. I think there's a stigma about trailers, and they're not really that bad because you're paying the same price if you're getting something with newer windows, probably built between 2000 and 2006. The furnace is in good shape, like everything is pretty efficient. So that's where it might be a better decision going with mobile on that price point.
And for people that like those older houses, we do have excellent ability to help you with those. If you don't have the funds and you don't have the ability to do the repairs, we deal with mortgage professionals that allow what's called a mortgage plus improvements. Now, that's not for everyone either, just simply because it does take time once you do own that house to get those improvements complete. However, it does give you the ability to add the value of the improvements to your mortgage, and it gives you the ability to have a contractor come in and deal with whatever you'd like to have done to those older houses to get it to where you like. But again, it's, some people are dead set on those old houses. A lot of people love the character houses, and I can appreciate that as well. But again, it's just having a great plan in place to deal with those, and we have all the tools to deal with all of those as well. So
When someone takes those character houses and really puts in the work.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So basically, right now, what we're seeing is inventory is picking up, activity is picking up, but preparation and pricing matter more than ever.
100%.
Chris mentioned last week about seller's conditions, and I realized as I was editing it, maybe we should go back and touch on that condition a little bit, because a lot of people may not understand what we mean when we say a seller's condition. We oftentimes use these terms and throw them out there thinking that maybe people will just understand what we're saying without giving the background knowledge behind it. So Chris, you want to pick up where we left off last week and just break it down, what is a seller's condition?
Yeah, so in this market, with there being such less inventory, it's an amazing option to think outside the box and try and get inventory on the market and try and start putting those pieces of the puzzle together. A lot of people want to sell their houses, but they don't want to sell until they buy for fear of being homeless. We have the ability to put a condition in place as a seller to allow you time to be able to find a home. And then if you don't find what you're looking for, then you can ask for an extension on that buyer's contract, or you can terminate that buyer's contract and wait for the next buyer. But it does give you the ability to move forward in a lot better of a situation. Oftentimes when you do the traditional method of waiting to find a home and then still having to sell yours, if you have no plan in place, if you don't have photos done, if you're not ready to put that home on the market in a efficient manner, then you'll be caught putting in an offer subject to the sale of your home, which means at that capacity, you'll be submitting an offer and your house will not be on market. When you do that, there's a clause attached to that allows any other person in that market price point to offer on the home that you have an offer on. And then once that offer is accepted as a backup offer, then you will be issued 72 hours to have your home completely sold and the new one completely purchased, which puts people in a scramble position that's not ideal. So having everything done on your home ready to roll, and then if not, having it listed as we talked about and putting a seller's condition in place to get an accurate offer for the maximum value on your current home, and then to find your next one, and then put in that offer without the subject to sale, but then with just a condition of confirmation of sale, will mean that you'll have way more leverage when you come to a competing offer situation. You'll have everything kind of lined up, and you won't have that ability to lose that house that you have the offer in on. It'll secure that offer and give you the ability to move forward on the house that you do want.
Each time I've had a seller's condition, the buyer on the other end is just like, listen, just take your time. I'm just happy I found a home, because they're in the same position. They're tired of searching and getting beat out and all this other stuff. So I find even with the seller's commission, most people do work with you. If you can't find something, they've been in the same boat as you, so they get it. They're just happy something's locked down and secure up there.
Yeah.
And moreover, this is very important. If you are thinking about selling your home on your own and being a for sale by owner, and you have to sell your house and purchase another house, this is really where you want a realtor to step in here and guide you through this process, because it can get pretty confusing and you can be stuck owning 2 homes, and you do not want to do that. So
There's a lot of moving parts. Absolutely. This is a full-time job. A lot of times people think, I can do that. People do it all the time. And there's not to say that some people do it. It's just at that capacity, there can be a lot of problematic issues. And we do a lot to protect our clients and make sure that everything goes forward exactly how they wish.
Buyers are hungry. I think when people put it online or on the market for sale by owner, those people within the first couple of days are like, okay, I'm overwhelmed with just trying to manage this, let alone the rest of the moving parts on top of it. So yeah.
And you have to be cautious too, because oftentimes if you're selling your home by yourself, you're receiving an offer from an agent and they are fully prepared on how to get that offer and get it signed, and you may not even understand exactly what you're signing. So having representation can be absolutely crucial, because you can be caught in a situation where I think we've all heard of stuff in the last little while where people were not able actually to even sell their home, depending on what had happened, just because of not looking at the big picture moving forward and having the information on hand.
all right, guys. So last time we mentioned that I was posting on social media and offering options for people to ask us a question, and I did get one. So I have this person ask me, as a first-time home buyer who has never purchased a home before, where should they start? They want to purchase a home within the next 6 months to a year. What are some suggestions that we would give them?
Well, first of all, I think a good thing is to reach out to a realtor, and you can have this initial consultation where we kind of guide you through the initial steps. So first thing is to get you lined up with a really good mortgage professional. Working with non-local professionals sometimes isn't as advised as working with the local ones. And we want to get you lined up with a really good professional to make it as smooth as possible for you.
In addition to that, when you reach out to us, we will actually set up a preset auto email with your preferences, so that as soon as that hits the market, you will get a notification and you will be able to go through the listing. And if you're interested, then that's when you call us back and we'll discuss further. So that's an important thing to set up.
Exactly. And in that case, then you are only getting listings that are active on the market. You're not going to get listings that are pending or sold, because I do see that a lot. I'm sure you guys also get texts from people. Is this still available? It's sent from realtor.ca and it was already pending, right? Or Facebook.
I have a bit of insight to that as well. All of the listings, no matter if it's even our site, unfortunately, our C.Moore Realty site, any realtor.ca, our website, any agent's website, any Facebook ad, anything like that is not directly pulled from our MLS database efficiently enough. When we build an email, it comes directly from the MLS database, and it will only include active houses. And then, as Akhil mentioned, within that price point, you'll instantly get an email, which will keep you up to date faster than any realtor.ca or what have you. And that's why, is because those sites don't update as efficiently as what MLS does. So the data is always old, and that data old can be 3 days, up to 3 days, 4 days old. And when that happens, that house could easily have been pending or even recently sold. And the potential buyer looking at that ad has no idea. So having that automatic email come directly to you from there takes all the legwork out of the process of searching and gives you the first crack at it. And then as soon as you see that house that interests you pop up, you call your agent. The agent sets up the time ASAP to get you in there to get a good look at it. If it's what you want, then we already have a leg up on the competition to get in there. When it's competitive like this, being quick to the draw is a huge advantage for us all.
One thing I've noticed too that people have been tending to do is not working with one buyer's agent.
Oh yeah.
That is going to be your key to success, is choosing one agent to work with and not reaching out to, say, each listing agent from every house that you see online, then reaching out to the listing agent. That agent's already working for the seller for their benefit. You want to have one agent where you look at the houses together, you can discuss the pros and cons of each one you've seen together, build your plan together. It's a very close process.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
Yeah, and jumping around is not helpful at all. And another thing I want to add to that is, because of the market that we have right now and things moving fairly quickly, I understand everybody has schedules, but if you really are serious about getting a house and you're interested in one, you have to get in to look at that house as soon as you can right now on the market. There's no waiting a day or even 2 days. Like it's gone. Or you have 10 other people who are interested in it too. So if it's something that you really like and you would love to see it, try to reach out to your agent. They will be available for you. We are all available. We make it work, and get in to see it as soon as possible.
I FaceTime people that drove down Highway 40 and they sent me working that day just to show them the house.
I mean, when they're in the passenger seat of that semi.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's right. But I mean, at the end of the day, we got to do what we got to do to help our clients, and that's why it's good to work with one agent, because the trust and relationship gets there for when you're in these situations and you need to find a house and you're at work and you have a busy schedule, but you trust us just as much as we trust you. That's why it's good to have one.
And moreover to that, the right agent, because a lot of agents will show you some houses and then forget about you. And it's important to have someone who's constantly looking for you, as well as you looking at the emails, to make sure that when something comes up, they're in tune with you and they're keeping you informed about what's happening. And these auto emails are an amazing thing for that, because if by chance we're busy that day and something comes up, even if we didn't see it that second, you got the email. So we build that plan and understanding and time sensitiveness with our clients and explain it so that you can be, in the game. And that's the big thing.
You can set it to be go out ASAP. So as soon as a house goes on the market, one gets sent out. Or you can change it to get it once a day. If you're not really actively looking and you just want to see what comes on, you can get it, I think, every week too.
You can,
I think. Yeah, there's so many different options. So, all right, guys. So the last one, just a little bit of fun for this one. I'm going to quick fire some statements and short answers only. Okay. So what comes to mind when I say one word to describe this spring market?
Chaos.
Or the spring market to come. One thing buyers should stop doing.
Not calling us.
Curtis is always good at this. Okay, one more. One thing sellers need to understand.
Planning.
Yeah, I agree. Well, guys, that was another awesome episode. I think we touched on a lot of good talking points and gave you some great information that you can use in helping you buy or sell. So thank you for listening. If you have any questions about Grande Prairie or the real estate market, sellers conditions, or just navigating the spring real estate, reach out to any one of us qualified agents and we would be happy to answer anything you have or answer a question on the next episode. If you have something you want us to talk about, let us know. Send it our way. Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
C.Moore Realty. Real estate to accommodate. The C.Moore Realty team is Chris Moore, Curtis Valentine, Danielle Broderick, Amber Smith, April Croucher, and Akhil Mampali Cannell. To learn more, visit cmoorerealty.ca.